shoelaces be connected on the inside of his thighs here, okay? Now what we're going to use is a 2-on-1 grip, which basically, if you haven't seen it before, I have one hand on his wrist and I have one hand just my thumb going in the crease of his elbow and my fingers going around the other side. Now, it's easier said than done to just come out and grab this. Logic would tell you, if this is the arrangement of my arms, that to come out I would just go here. The problem with that is, if I put my first hand on and I'm sleeping for a minute and Chris just comes forward and body locks me, now the center of my body's exposed and he's probably going to pass my guard, and that's not going to be good for me. So instead of putting this hand in place first, I use my same side hand. So I go left, I push it into his stomach, and then I put my right hand on top, and then I move my left hand down. It's just a wee bit more tighter. It gives him less chance to get away from here. Now I'm going to put my foot on the hip on the same side. Now this grip is amazing. It's really, really hard to break, but there's one chink in its armour. It's that wee gap right there between my thumb and my finger. If Chris just turns his thumb towards the shoulder and rips it out, because of that gap between my thumb and my finger, it's going to be really, really easy for him to break. So I have to come up with some kind of way to kind of fortify that. So whenever I have my grip, all I do is I pull the arm across and I put that little gap there right on top of my hip bone. Now, I don't put it on top of the fleshy bit of my thigh. It has to be on top of the bone. Now, whenever you're doing this, the further your shoulder moves back behind my hand, the less control I'll have. The more I bring my shoulder above his hand, and the more I point my elbow out and away from us. Chris, take your arm back, hard as you can. It's a super strong grip. Compared to this, where if he just like circles his hand out, it's gonna come out really easy. So the whole sequence from here, left, right, down to the elbow, foot on the hip. Now I draw this over my hip and I put my shoulder over the top of it, okay? Now, we're gonna use this to set up a triangle, okay? I have one of his arms isolated. I just need to beat this arm. Now, the good thing about this is my right foot is weightless now. So he knows that I want to go for triangle. So he maybe be trying to bring this hand and bring it inside my knee or whatever. All I need to do is get my foot to the inside of his bicep. Now from here, I just bring my back to the ground and I pull my grip towards me and I can shoot my leg up here. Now, if you see where I landed, I want my right or my left knee to be in front of his shoulder. I shouldn't be able to see his shoulder at all, okay? I'm not locking my feet just for now. I'm just gonna hold his head with my left hand and I start looking for an underhook under his leg with my right arm. Now I use this to pull myself round so I'm at 90 degrees too. I should be able to see into his ear. Now from here I just lock my legs over the top and we'll get our submission there, okay? So, 1, 2, 3. Foot on the hip, we drag this out and we set this on top of our hip bone, making sure that the shoulder is over the top. If I start doing this, he's gonna be able to free his arm. So we roll our shoulder forward. Now I just need to beat his forearm. So as I'm going, I wanna get this foot on his bicep. Now I bring my back to the ground, pull him with me, and we throw him up into the triangle. Hold the head with this left hand just to stop him posturing. And now I'm gonna start looking underneath his legs so I can underhook with my right arm. I use this underhook. You can see how my underhook at the minute, I'm only like the palm of my hands behind his hamstring. I want to use it to pull myself so I can go elbow deep. This is really important. Now I can see into his ear. I just throw my legs over the top and we just squeeze. Cool?